Tao biết đâu.
cái sợi
Ella va bien. Hey.
Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, The Cat Hiding Under the Chair. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don't like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. In a quiet, cozy house nestled at the end of a tree-lined street, lived a little cat named Whiskers. He had soft gray fur, with stripes running across his back, and large amber eyes that sparkled like golden jewels when the sunlight hit them. Whiskers was a curious cat, always poking his nose into corners, exploring every nook and cranny of the house. But despite his adventurous spirit, he had one very peculiar habit. He liked to hide. It wasn't that Whiskers was shy, nor did he dislike people. In fact, he loved the company of his human family, especially little Lucy, who would always cuddle him on the couch after a long day of school. But there were times, like today, when Whiskers just felt the need to be alone, to retreat into the quietest, safest place he could find. This particular day was one of those days. Lucy's family had invited a few guests over for lunch, and their voices echoed through the house, filled with laughter and the clinking of dishes. Whiskers wasn't fond of these noisy gatherings, as much as he loved Lucy. The noise, the unfamiliar scents, and the constant movement of people made him feel overwhelmed. So, after a brief moment of hesitation, Whiskers made a quick decision. He darted across the living room, his little paws clicking softly on the hardwood floor, and slipped under the nearest piece of furniture he could find, the old, worn-out armchair in the corner of the room. The armchair was a familiar spot. Its high wooden legs created a small, shadowed space underneath that was perfect for hiding. Whiskers had been there many times before when he wanted to escape the bustle of the house, and it always provided him the peace he needed. From his cozy hiding place, Whiskers could hear the voices of the guests growing louder as they entered the living room. He could smell the aroma of the food they brought with them, but he didn't feel the need to join in. Instead, he curled himself up in a little ball and closed his eyes, content to remain hidden. Meanwhile, Lucy noticed that Whiskers was missing. At first, she thought nothing of it, assuming he was just napping somewhere, as he often did. But as time passed, she began to grow concerned. Whiskers had always been around during their family gatherings, and she didn't like the idea of him hiding away from everyone. She missed him. "Mom, have you seen Whiskers?" Lucy asked, her voice filled with a hint of worry. Her mom, who was busy setting the table, looked around and shook her head. "No, I haven't seen him. He might be upstairs or in the bedroom." Lucy nodded but felt uneasy. Whiskers was usually so friendly, especially when there were guests. Why would he hide? She began to walk through the house, calling his name softly. "Whiskers, where are you, little buddy?" she asked. The house was quiet, save for the laughter from the living room. Lucy checked behind the curtains, under the bed, and even in the laundry basket, but there was no sign of her furry friend. Her search continued, and soon, her mom joined in, calling out for the little cat as well. They searched every room on the lower floor, but Whiskers was nowhere to be found. Maybe he's outside, Lucy's mom suggested, but Lucy was sure Whiskers had never liked being outdoors alone. It seemed unlikely. Finally, Lucy stood still for a moment and thought. She knew Whiskers well. He didn't like loud noises, and he always retreated to the same place when he needed a break. She glanced at the armchair in the corner of the living room and felt a sense of relief. "Mom, I think I know where he is," Lucy said with a smile. Her mom looked at her with a mix of curiosity and relief. "Where?" "Under the chair," Lucy said, rushing over to the armchair. Lucy crouched down and peered under the armchair, her heart racing. At first, she saw only a shadow, but as her eyes adjusted, she spotted the familiar flick of Whiskers' tail. He was curled up, sound asleep, in his little hiding spot, oblivious to the commotion going on above him. "Whiskers!" Lucy called out softly, her voice filled with joy. The cat's ears perked up at the sound of his name. Slowly, he blinked his eyes open, gazing out from under the chair. For a moment, he seemed to hesitate, unsure whether to stay hidden or come out. But as Lucy's gentle voice called to him again, he stretched his small body and slowly crawled out from under the chair. Lucy scooped him up in her arms, and Whiskers immediately snuggled against her chest, purring contentedly. "I missed you, little guy," she whispered, her heart swelling with happiness. Whiskers, of course, was happy to be held. He had always loved the comfort of Lucy's arms, and he was perfectly content to be with her, no matter what was happening around him. The noise of the guests in the living room no longer bothered him now that he was back in Lucy's embrace. As she walked into the living room, Whiskers' gaze met the eyes of the guests, who all smiled at the sight of him in her arms. Lucy's mom chuckled. "It looks like Whiskers has had enough of the party for today," she said. "He's found his safe place." Lucy smiled and nodded. "Yes, I think he just needed a little break." From that day forward, Lucy knew exactly where to find her little cat whenever he needed space. And while Whiskers loved his family and enjoyed the occasional game or cuddle, he would always retreat to the comfort of his hiding spot under the chair whenever the world outside became too overwhelming. And that was okay. After all, everyone needs a little time alone sometimes, even a curious little cat like Whiskers.